But I DM'd her anyways and was like, hey, like, if you let me join this team, like, I used to try hard Minecraft back in 1.7, so we'll win. And then we did win, which was cool. I had a job, big boy job, and I quit it randomly. I just left one day and said I wanted to be a streamer. Don't follow in my footsteps, anyone listening. This is not the way to approach this.
Alright lads, welcome back to the InsideMC podcast. Today, I am joined with the amazing Dave Kratzy. Hello, Dave.
Hello, what is up?
For some bizarre reason, I don't know why, I've just completely forgotten how to do my intro, so we're sticking with that. We're sticking with a straight introduction for today. It's gonna be perfect, don't worry.
I am so bad with scripted stuff that I'm impressed that it only took you 2 tries.
Well, I mean, is that really scripted though? Like, I'm not reading. If I was reading something, it'd sound a lot less natural. I literally just hit record, start waffling away, and then we ball, right?
Hey, it worked. It was a good enough intro for me. So.
There we go. I mean, you're amazing, Dave Krtzy. You don't need a massive big intro, because you have that aura. You know that you're perfect. It's okay, right?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm just perfect, really.
Welcome in today. You have just woken up from your slumber, so I'm jumping on you and asking you a bunch of questions as you're freshly awake. But it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be a great
it's recording. My favorite thing is to just yap. I'm a yapaholic. I like to say.
You were saying before we hit record and I started screaming at you to stop talking, to stop spoiling it, that you used to run your own podcast, right?
Yeah, I've done 2 podcasts. I had a group channel way back, and then I had 1 episode of a podcast, and I never made an episode 2, but maybe one day. But it was called Just Chatting with Krtzy.
Ah, so who were you joined with? Was it like you just waffling away, or did you have a co-host?
No, so it was just me, and it was supposed to be like every episode I had a different guest, and I had Jack Manifold and Nikki as my first guests, which were pretty good first guests, and then the episode is really good. I just never made another one. I don't know why.
So it is kind of like my InsideMC, where it's just me kind of waffling away to a guest.
Exactly, except I just did it once, and that was it.
Whereas this is let me fact check myself here. This will be the 96th edition.
Wow. Oh wow, almost 100. That's crazy.
Yeah, a spoiler alert here for the listeners, and I guess you guys on the Dave Kratzy podcast get to the spoiler alert. Edition 100 will be recorded like a midweek MC. It won't be having a guest on it, which is weird. It'll be the first InsideMC since my return that won't have a guest. So savor this one, because we're coming to a reckoning of missing a week, and then I'm going on break, which also isn't announced yet, but people know it because I've been saying it quite loosely that I'm having a week break, so I'm going on holiday. So it's almost perfect timing, pretty much. It's gonna be great.
Heck yeah.
Actually, no, that's a lie. I go on break. I record 1 more podcast, then I go on break. Anyways, Dave, sorry, waffling away. What was the second podcast? You said you did 1 episode of it. What was that?
No, so that one was my Just Chatting, was 1 episode, and then I had a group podcast back in the day called Boys That Stream, and that was just, we had like 11 people in our podcast, so it did not work out.
Oh god, I can imagine the chaos.
I really don't even know how to explain it. It's hard to get 11 people to perfectly get along for a long period of time.
What schedule recording with 11 people? I mean, I sometimes struggle to do it with 4 or 3.
Yeah, even. I don't even know. I think it was because it was during COVID, a lot of it. So
a lot of them were at home. Yeah,
we had nothing to do anyways.
That's the thing. That's what's quite nice about the podcast, is I have my set recording times: Monday 7 p.m, Wednesday 7 p.m. I'll like change it if I have to. Sometimes I have to change it, but it's very ideal when I have this set plan of like the next guest after you, all of them are fine to record on a Monday at 7 p.m. So I know to, like, even my parents know, like, I help with washing and wiping, I help walking the dog and stuff, but they know on Mondays and Wednesdays I can't do it unless it changes for a week. So
yeah, schedule is good.
Aren't you the CEO of the Twitch team, Boys That Stream?
That is what a lot of websites say about me, because that was my bio for a long time when I ran that podcast. Yeah, no, we were never a company or anything. CEO was just a self-proclaimed title. No, so that was not a real thing, but it does, I believe, say it on pretty much every little mini article of me online, so I don't blame you.
Well, to be fair, InsideMC isn't a company, but I'd like to say I'm the CEO of InsideMC. I mean, I guess I'm the owner, actually, but it's not a company, it's just a silly little podcast channel.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess I'm the CEO of Krtzy, which is also me, but also my business, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, so Boys That Stream as like a Twitch team, was that just that the 11 people who were on the podcast, you just decided to make a Twitch team?
Yeah, we had like a little realm and stuff. A lot of us are like totally parted ways as far as like even what sections of the internet we went off to, but yeah, no, it was just just a fun thing. That was like where I started my content journey, really, was like with that group of people. This is like 2019, 2020 era, and that it was over by 2021. So this is a long time ago, really.
Well, if you are listening to this and you've wrote one of those articles, change it to Krtzy hates boys that stream. No longer CEO. Krtzy just despises them, doesn't want anything to do with it. Remove it from all your articles. Just censor the word as well. Don't even like put boys that stream. Censor like certain letters in the word.
Exactly. No, we honestly chose that name because the acronym was BTS, and we thought that was funny.
Oh.
We probably would have got ourselves in trouble with the BTS fandom at some point, so it's probably for the better.
See, I just think it's funny because I was like, that was the second thing that came to mind. The first thing that came to mind was behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's true. That also was what BTS stands for.
And technically, we're getting to hear the BTS of BTS today.
Exactly. Shout out and rest in peace.
Before I let you do your guest introduction here, I do just want to say that this podcast, Kratzy, is a little bit more honourable than just the 96th edition. There's a reason for that too. The day that we're recording this on, 2 years ago, was the first ever upload of the InsideMC podcast. So you're recording on his birthday. We're recording on the birthday.
Let's go. Happy birthday. That's awesome.
Even though
I'm honored to be on the 2-year anniversary.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is a 2-year anniversary, 100%, but it also did like take a break after like episode 15, and then it came back last April because I just got a night shift job. But it is still the birthday nonetheless, so you know that it makes this podcast even more honourable. I'm more happy, cheery, as you can probably tell as well. So you know, makes it all that better.
Okay.
So, Kratzy, we've waffled about so much stuff already. However, the listener is probably sitting here right now thinking, who actually is this guy? What does he do? Does he have any fun facts? I ask every single listener. It used to be the first thing I asked, but now I like to have a little conversation before we do. So, who are you, Dave? What if I'm okay? I assume I'm fine to be calling you Dave, right? I didn't actually check that with you.
Yeah. No, Dave is ideal.
Okay, Dave. Instead, I'll stop calling you Kratzy now. Who are you? What do you do? Fun facts, if you must.
All right. Well, I am Dave Kratzy. I've been doing content specifically in the Minecraft world for really, really long. But as far as being Kratzy/Krtzy, an old spelling of my name, I've been Kratzy for just shy of 5 years in June, and I've been doing it full time. But I've been doing content since 2009. I was a wee lad, and I've just always done it. But I've done it as a job full time since June of 2019. And I was also a cameraman starting off. I did a bunch of little like odd jobs like video editing and being cameraman for YouTubers and stuff. And then when the pandemic rolled around, that's when I got into streaming. And now I do a bunch of stuff. Right now, TikTok is my biggest thing, but you know, I'm all over the place with content. But TikTok, Twitter, I'm a big event player. People know me from events because I played an MCC 1 and won the first Minecraft championship back in November 2019. So yeah.
Who was on your team? Because you had Kara. Because Kara, I was talking to Kara, and she got the winning shot at MCC against Big Star 123. So you're now the second person I have on that team. So who are the other two?
Michael McChill and King Burren were our other two teammates.
Oh crap! So
and we played on. We were on SMP Live together at the time. An old cursed SMP that was kind of big at the time. We called ourselves Team SMP Live.
You went on to win the entire bloody thing. You would have thought.
Yeah, I was a last-minute substitute.
Oh really?
Yeah, because you know what's really funny is you'd never see this with MCC now, but during their first event, a ton of people just didn't show up, and they didn't have enough subs lined up, so they were literally just panic reaching out on Twitter. And I happened to follow Kara on Twitter, but she didn't follow me back. But I DM'd her anyways and was like, hey, like if you let me join this team, like I used to try hard Minecraft back in 1.7, so we'll win. And then we did win, which was cool. And that kind of kickstarted that whole thing for me, doing events and Minecraft PvP and all that.
How did it? Sorry, I'm about to say something that you're probably not gonna like. You're like not liking a joke away. Don't worry, I'm not gonna say something to offend you. Okay. So you won the first MCC. However, you didn't win again until MCC 29.
Yeah, it was a tough run for me.
That is just, it was unfortunate. Like, how many dodge vaults did you make in that time?
I made 2 dodge vaults and lost before I won in MCC 29.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was an awkward time for MCC where team balancing was all over the place. And honestly, once Scott really wanted to take balancing way more seriously, is when I started having a better chance at MCC, I think. Because in the first season 1, it was kind of just teams were all over the place as far as skill level and stuff. And I often ended up on not the most powerful teams, but team balancing accounts back. And now I won 3 last season, so.
Oh, geez, really? Oh, I didn't even know that.
I think the non-canon, yeah.
What MCC was it? It was last year that you placed first individual in. I can't remember which one it was.
That was MCC Pride that I won. Non-canon, so people don't count that as my first place.
Do you want to know? Okay. Do you want to know a fun fact here?
Mm-hmm.
So I believe you know who Captain AJX is. They're friends.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah.
So they used to do MCC videos and used to do like the top 10s, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you've ever seen any of the videos.
I probably have, yeah.
For Pride, I think it was one of the last ones that he did. I never really talked to him in my life. We never really talked. He co-hosts like the podcast now. I never really interacted with him, blah blah blah. But we started talking. He invited me to do the top 10 for that video, and I got to do the number 1 place, which was you. So I actually got to talk about you, and I'm pretty sure I pronounced your name like Krtzy at the time.
Probably.
I didn't know how to pronounce it. So I was like, oh, I coming at number 1, and I'd also lost my voice as well. If you go back and listen to it, I sound not too bad, but like I was recovering from like a voice ache, like losing my voice, and I said to him, I might not be able to do it, but I really want to. I said like, are you sure you don't mind it if I like have a bum voice? He said, no, it's fine, it's gonna be great. And I strained my voice so much just so I could do your number 1 thing. It's funny that I get to sit down with you today and waffle away now, so it's really cool.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, no, Krtzy was a name I accepted for a while, but hence why I did change the official spelling of my alias online, at least in the places I could change it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's a nice little rebrand. It's a lot easier to say, and I mean, this is how you always wanted it to be pronounced anyways, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is literally just my last name, and I just spelled it weird when I originally made my username. So Kratzy is how it's said, and it's been a nickname of mine since I was a kid. But yeah, so I had the username KRTZY before I started content. I got that username because I thought it looked cool. So it was like my last name but shorter, and then so I was like, oh, I'll just make my Twitch name this when I start streaming, and things kind of just snowballed from there, and I was stuck with Krtzy. Then I eventually decided it was time to change. This year I changed it to Kratzy officially.
So I was about to ask where did the name come from, but it literally is just it was your nickname, and so like people just decided to call you by your surname rather than your first.
Yeah, well, my last name is just Kratz without a Y. This is all public knowledge. Yes, my last name is just Kratz without a Y, but I was called Kratzy when I did sports as a kid, and it kind of just stuck as like a little nickname. So.
I see it. Yeah, like when instead of saying Kratz possible, Kratzy possible, it definitely makes a lot more sense. It kind of flows a bit more, kind of thing, for a nickname, anyways.
Yeah, and I always liked it because I don't mind being named Dave, but Dave is a pretty ordinary name. So Kratzy's kind of cool, stands out.
Kind of backtracking to your like fun fact intro here. You said that you started off as like a cameraman and an editor.
Yes.
So who were you a cameraman for? Like what did you do specifically?
Yes. So I got my footing being a cameraman for this group called Lunch Club, and some controversial people worked there, but it was pretty cool. It was a group. It was like Ted Nivison, Jay Schlatt, Slimesicle, Called Me Carson.
Oh god.
Yeah. Travis, D-Scoop, Hugbox. They were just a group. They were funny guys. And Ted Nivison, I think I said too. He was in that group. But yeah, I was their cameraman at TwitchCon 2019, and I was also their cameraman when they filmed a ton of videos in LA, like right before COVID. It was like January 2020. And that was like financially how I supported myself for a bit. And but I also got a following from doing that, just because they had like a huge like stan following and a big like very active like fan base. So when I was their cameraman, I got a bunch of followers just for being that. And then that helped me kickstart my streaming career when COVID happened and I couldn't do camera stuff anymore.
How did you like, was that like an application role? Did it kind of just land on your feet? How does that work?
Yeah, like yeah, it was a mix of, I've just been deeply rooted in the Minecraft scene since 2012, since I would have like a 13-year-old boy, and I just happened to know a few people like Joko. I don't know if familiar with Joko.
No, I'm not, sorry.
Okay, he's not really in the Minecraft scene. He does variety content now, but he was a part of the server called SMP Live, same with his friend and one of my friends, C-Scoop, and I used to play Minecraft with them back in the day. That really was all it was. And then when it came to streaming, they invited me to SMP Live, and then there I met Carson, who then hired me to do camera work.
Yeah.
before everything happened with him, obviously.
If you kind of looking through your YouTube channel here, do you have an alt account? You don't. You just have the Kratzy account, right? You don't have a second channel.
I have a VOD channel, but it's just like random like events and stuff.
Have you I mean, scrolling through your channel here, you've done like a lot of Minecraft, and well, rightfully so, you are a Minecraft content creator. And obviously knowing how to work a camera and stuff, have you never thought about taking up like vlogging? Or I mean, you did. I flew to NYC to see Rambo, but that was 2 years ago. Like, have you ever thought about doing like other little stuff here and there, or is that just like vlogging the next TwitchCon, for example? Like, if you're going to TwitchCon Europe, maybe vlogging that?
Yeah, I've like considered doing it a bunch of times. It just really isn't my niche of like what I'm good at. Like, I'm good at filming and working cameras, but I definitely do not have the vlogger personality or the confidence to like I can never just talk to a camera in public with people around me. Like, I just don't have that kind of confidence. But no, gaming has just always been my niche, and I'm just most comfortable there, I think.
Yeah, I'd love to do like a live like InsideMC panel, and I reckon I'd be able to do it, but I do need the first experience of maybe going on another panel or like doing commentary, like, because I'm trying to get more into commentary as well. I've been commentating like a crap ton of events. By crap ton, I've done it like 3 times, but the point is there's gonna be more. So
yeah,
I see what you mean though with the whole, it's a lot different from just sitting, because I do face cam and stuff. I just don't have a face cam because my room's a little bit just not very face cam nice. But like, yeah, I agree, it's a lot different with sitting behind right now to talking live in front of people kind of thing. Especially
yeah, I honestly like I've done on stage stuff, but for some reason like the concept of like holding out a camera, and like let's say I went to TwitchCon and I was just walking around talking to my phone. I don't know why that it's something I never had the confidence to do, even though I've IRL streamed 2 times. But
I mean,
I don't know.
Especially if like, I remember seeing like something about someone. I remember watching a vlog of someone, and they said, "Oh, I'm not going to take the camera with me to like dinner because I don't want to be that one guy with the camera." It's so true. Like, it's so true. You don't want to be that one guy vlogging dinner, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, the ironic thing is, it never bothers me when other people make vlogs and videos. I actually like get excited to be in their content, but then I feel like it would be burdensome to everyone if I made a vlog, you know, or whatever.
That's just how the horrible mind works.
Yeah, so maybe one day. I don't know. Right now, YouTube is not my priority. It probably will be once they ban TikTok in my country, but right now I'm not really prioritizing it.
Oh, of course, yeah, they are, isn't there? I forgot about that. How do you feel? Because yeah, I mean, you're doing really well on TikTok right now. 151k followers. You're getting like, you know, your pinned ones have 950k, 4.8 million, 6 million. I mean, your most recent ones have 72k, 1.8 million, 283k, and they vary quite a lot. So you are doing really, really well on TikTok. I guess a few questions here. Firstly, how do you feel about the whole ban?
Well, I think I think I'm safe for a while. I don't approve of the ban. I think American politics is a whole dicey thing, but it's definitely just a money move by our politicians rather than like an actual, you know, the security concern or whatever. So I'm not happy with it because right now it's my livelihood. I pay my rent and my bills is mostly TikTok money right now. So by them removing it, it would remove a lot of income. I would have to, you know, find something else to do, become a YouTuber. So no, I am not a fan of it, especially just you know, the amount of small businesses and stuff as well here that rely on TikTok for customers or for money. I don't see there actually being a security risk as our politicians claim there is.
To be fair, I wasn't expecting you to turn around and be like, "Oh, it's amazing."
Yeah, I was like, yeah, screw TikTok.
Hate that platform anyways, so.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate because even though TikTok has some moderation issues here and there, they are definitely one of the most creator friendly. It's like one of the few platforms where I have a contact at TikTok. They've reached out to me. I've talked to them. Not many platforms do that unless you're like really big. Like, I still really don't know anyone at Twitch besides Twitch Rivals or anyone at YouTube. But yeah, TikTok has always been great. They pay really well and they treat me well. Not happy about losing it if we do.
I don't think it'll happen. There's always like these things of, oh, we're gonna get rid of this, but I mean, then there's VPNs and there's this and there's that. They're not gonna arrest everyone who's downloading TikTok, you know?
Yeah, my only thing is I probably wouldn't be able to make money on it anymore.
Oh, true.
You know, taxes and all that, they'll have to track my money.
Well, then at that point, you try your best to try and convert the people into other platforms, which I know it's hard to do with TikTok, but not impossible. There's also YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, YouTube Shorts have done. Yeah, I did. I have like 2 shorts that hit 10 million views, but YouTube Shorts pays significantly less than TikTok. And my point of contention is TikTok TikTok has a program where you get paid only if your videos are over 1 minute long, but they pay you really well. Whereas YouTube Shorts can only be a minute long. So if I make a video for TikTok, I can't upload it onto YouTube Shorts because they're always like a minute 5 seconds or a minute 20, which is kind of annoying because actually Instagram Reels does 90 seconds, so I could re-upload my stuff onto Instagram, but not YouTube. I think YouTube Shorts could easily be 90 seconds to 2 minutes.
A bit more optimized, but
yeah. But like YouTube money on Shorts is really bad. I mean, just because it's comically bad. Is like I got a short that has like 10, maybe 11 million views now, and it's made like $500 from 10 million views. Which, you know, is not amazing compared to what I would do on TikTok, which would be like 5 times that, 6 times that. I got 10 million views.
Yeah, I'm always uploading the same. I just upload my clips to YouTube and TikTok because Jokana edits them up. I'm always every single bloody podcast I'm giving her credit. Somehow this comes up in conversation, and she edits them up and uploads them. So I upload them to the same YouTube and TikTok.
That's the move. I mean, those are the discovery platforms nowadays. Like people are getting discovered from TikTok and Short and like kickstarting. Like I don't know, people become famous overnight. Those so it's always very good to upload. I just haven't been doing Shorts simply because I've been too lazy because my videos have been over a minute long.
Yeah, which I mean it's understandable why you can't be bothered to do it. Well, not can't be bothered, but less motivated.
Yeah, and also I think after now that I had Shorts do really well and blow up my channel a little bit on YouTube, now realizing that maybe I should have had a Shorts channel because it is kind of like I've inflated sub count a little bit. That doesn't translate as well like long form content, but I mean it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I used to think that, but then I was talking to AJX. And it's just like, just upload your shorts to the podcast channel. It's like, oh, but like, you know, I was like, oh, but I should have a short channel because I don't want always dead subs. Like, but what's the point? He was like, it doesn't really. I guess with a podcast it's a little bit different because you're just gonna have people listen who listen. If I just upload the shorts to the same channel, if I get a large sub count, like it's cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's mainly just based on the viewers here. So at least especially because that's InsideMC is monetized as well. So if I upload shorts and videos to that channel, at least the income there is going to be a little bit stronger because I'm converting a very little amount of shorts people into YouTube viewers.
Yeah, I think in your instance it makes more sense because your shorts I imagine would be clipped content from your long form.
Yeah.
Mine is like I make original short form content, so it's not like anyone could go from one of my shorts and then into one of my long form videos and like translate very well, because I make update videos. That's like my niche for the most part on like TikTok. Like I'll cover snapshots and all that, but I don't make long form videos about snapshots or updates. So when people go and watch those, I imagine they go and check out my long form and it's all like PvP content, which is pretty different. So that's a little bit more on me, but I think in your instance that is definitely the move.
You could always take clips
right
from your videos though.
Like, yeah, that is true.
Deadliest player, you could literally just get like a clip of your first interaction, turn it into a short and then upload it, and then you can link your videos to the shorts as well. So when people click on that short, if they want to watch the full video, they can just click at the bottom and it'll take them to the full video, which is like what I tuned the whole deadliest player 16 minutes long. So people, there is a strong possibility of people being converted into viewers there.
Yeah, I think I've kind of, not that I gave up on the hoplite niche, but hoplite I don't think I'm done with it, but there's not a big enough ceiling for the growth. I feel like, especially with shorts, like short content on a hoplite, I feel like, I guess I never tried it, so it's more me just being paranoid that it wouldn't work, but I never did it.
I mean, I was paranoid that the podcast wouldn't work, and now we're sitting here having a chat, so, you know.
That's true. Now, I've been having an identity crisis with my YouTube since I made it, so that's a mess, but I'll get on it.
I had it for a while as well. I do know how many times I've switched my bloody content. I went from Commando tutorials to CubeCraft Bedrock to Hive Bedrock to over to Java to MCCI specifically, and I said, screw it, I'm just going to do a podcast. So, and this is my full send content now, it's just a podcast. So you'll get to a point where you're happy. I mean, you clearly have a video going. Just make a video, edit it, upload it, and it's not going to hurt if you try something a bit different, right? Like, as long as it's still I remember this was on the, I believe it was a Radoon's podcast. He said, like, if you're constantly going into a candy shop, right, and you're going in and you're buying the same candy you do every single day, then all of a sudden that becomes a butcher shop. You're not going to go in there anymore, right? And that's the same with YouTube. If you're constantly providing that you're a candy shop, and then all of a sudden you become a butcher shop, people are going to stop watching your content. However, if you slowly transition it, so you like your candy shop with like, oh, here's some butcher's meat, like here's some, you know, like oh, look at this is also cool, have a little look at this. People are more likely to take a look at the butcher section, and then if they start to like that, you slowly transition them, and then you become a butcher, right?
Yeah, so, very true.
I think
I think it's just more right now I just got lazy with YouTube, and TikTok's been doing so well for me that most of the time when I have motivation in the morning to work, it's like, oh, I'll just do a TikTok, because I can make one TikTok video in an hour and a half. Not that it's all about the money, but I do this for a living. And that TikTok will make me more money than like the most money I've ever made on a long form video. Right now it's very disproportionate. Like I lose money on YouTube still. I edit everything myself. I can't really pay for an editor there. So it's kind of on the back burner, to be honest. My YouTube is like my lowest priority right now.
That's well. I mean, you're getting back into streaming a bit more, right?
Yeah.
It's on and off really, your streams.
I mean, yeah, I've been doing events. I've been signing up for a lot of smaller events and stuff. Give me content, but I do not stream on a regular basis like I used to.
Can I ask why? Is there no motivation for it? Or?
Honestly, it's just not my favorite thing to do. I honestly more prefer making my content and then uploading it, whether it be, TikTok, YouTube, whatever, than I am being a live performer. I don't have as much energy. Like I can't do streams like 8-hour streams, let alone keep up with like the meta of subathons and things. But I honestly just boils down to I just don't like it. Like past few times I've streamed, it ends and I'm like, I don't know why, but I feel like I don't want to do that again. So I only really stream when it randomly gets the motivation to.
That's so much like me. We're so similar. Yeah. The only thing is you're focusing TikTok, I'm focusing podcast.
Yeah, and I mean I think that's what the only way you can make something like this a career is to find what you like and don't force yourself to do things you don't like, because I think I burnt myself out a few months ago pushing streaming super hard, and I've been mega burnt on that. It's hard for me to even go back regularly. Like I do events, but that's it. Like I did an event last weekend and the weekend before, but those are the only streams I've done.
Well, we might see you in some more events hopefully as well. So.
I'm in a few events that I can't speak on any of them though. But I am.
But there will be either public before this one or public sometime after this podcast. Stay tuned. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. At least some of them, yeah. And then right before we started this podcast, I got confirmation on another event that I can't even tell you about.
Well, one of them will be made public in 2 days from upload. So take that as you will, listeners. You'll see. Kind of linking back around again into the whole like editing thing. So I like the whole being a cameraman, etc. But that was kind of how you got into this community. Obviously, you started being a cameraman. You started doing that at TwitchCon, blah, blah, blah. How did you kind of go from that to where you are now? How did you cement yourself in a community of, yeah, you made TikToks, yeah, you did YouTube, yeah, you did streaming, all that kind of jazz. But how did you, okay, I guess like a good standpoint here is, how did you get to a stage to play in the first MCC? Right, and I know you subbed in, I know it was the last minute, but that doesn't matter. How did you get to that point?
Man, to be honest, so I'm older than some Minecraft YouTubers. I'm 24, almost 25. And I started when I was 19, and I hard quit my job. So I lived on my own. I had an apartment with my girlfriend, and I had a job, big boy job, and I quit it randomly. I just left one day and said I wanted to be a streamer. Don't follow in my footsteps, anyone listening. This is not the way to approach this. But I had a lot of old friends from when I made content that were getting into streaming and doing well, and making it into a job. And I was like, I want to do that. Like, I don't want to be, I worked at a call center, did tech support, hated it. So I just quit. And there's something about, like making content and your livelihood depends on it. Like, oh, if I don't make enough money, I'll be homeless. That I just like, I streamed so much. I think I streamed 10 hours a day. I was doing 2 streams a day where I'd stream like 4 hours in the morning and then 4 hours at night every single day. And I got onto the server SMP Live where I started making connections. And that's how it set the stage. I mean, I got into MCC 1 like in November 2019, and I started content June 2019. So, but MCC was just a random one-of-a-kind event that needed Minecrafters. It was a lot of right time, right place type of opportunity, but so is like every major opportunity in content creation, to be honest. You just have to be in the right place at the right time and have the work behind it, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, really just me grinding my ass off, just trying to survive, and then it just kind of paid off, I guess.
What would you say, actually no, before we get into that, we've mentioned it a few times here, and I know like you said it was a bit of an interesting one, but I want to ask what it is anyways. What was SMP Live?
SMP Live was a pretty big server that broke a lot of content creators like into the mainstream. Like Jay Schlatt specifically is probably one of the biggest examples.
Okay.
And it was a server created by Call Me Carson and friends, and and this was, way back in the day. And it was a server where you had to be streaming to be on it. You could not play on the server if you weren't live streaming. And they had a hit system. Yeah, they had a hit system where you could set a price and people could donate for you to kill someone on the server, or at least try. Or it was called a hit. So you could either kill them or prank them, which was really good for like small streamers on the server, because anytime there was someone on there that was big, people would come to my chat and give me like $10 to go try to kill Schlatt or go kill, there was a bunch of big streamers on there that started there. So I got lucky just because a couple people who were on that server were old friends of mine from the Minecraft scene, because I've just been in the scene for a long time. So that was SMP Live. It was one of the big first SMPs. There's some, I'm trying to think, like a lot of people were on there. I can't even think of names that aren't canceled or totally gone from the internet. It was quite, just, if you're listening to this podcast, you can Google it. It's a dicey part of the past, but I was happy to be there.
Well, I mean, at the time before you knew everything, there we go.
Yeah. A lot of people, it was down the line, but
your innocence.
Yeah, SMP Live was like when Minecraft was making its resurgence, and at the time a lot of people credited SMP Live with the revival of Minecraft on like Twitch and stuff, and I just happened to be there. But it's where I got some people like Krtzy was on there, and we became good friends. Even though I've known him since I was 13, but we became good friends in SMP Live. Yeah.
You go to the same school? Or?
Nope, I've been chronically online since I was 13. I met him on a server called MCSG, which was the Minecraft survival game server.
Oh, cool.
It was popping in 2013. You had to be there.
You just had to be there. How old was I in 2013? I was 10 years old.
Dang.
That math isn't adding up, because it kind of is adding up, because you're 24, you said.
Yeah, I turned 25 in 2024, and so I was 13, 14 in 2013.
Okay, because I turned 21 in May. Yeah, I'm a little bit younger, but I'm also still older. It's weird. Interesting one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go on, sorry.
Oh no, what were you gonna ask?
I was gonna say, with SMP Live, you mentioned how for like a good amount of people, that's kind of where they boosted their platform or took a bit of a change in content. What was your moment? Like, do you have a moment where you turn around? Like with me, I turn around with the podcast and I look at certain moments, I'm just like, crap, that is like my moment. What's your one where everything just looked like it was just turning around so much better? Like where everything was just going, like you sat back in your chair and you put your hands over your head and thought, what the heck?
Dude, it honestly happened pretty fast. I don't know what actually sustained long term, because I got some big raids and big moments early in my career that didn't last very long. But I think where things really blew up was 2020 COVID summer, like MCC 6, MCC 7. On MCC 7, I got teamed with it was me, Sapnap, George Not Found, and Erit. And I had no idea who any of them were. Erit hadn't even blown up yet, and then I didn't know about any of the big YouTubers. So then when I did that was like a big boost, like when I started getting partner numbers on Twitch, and then I got partner summer 2020, I believe, and that was kind of that. Yeah, that was kind of my defining moment, where like when I got Twitch partner, like Twitch was like my full-time thing, and then in 2021 I signed with a gaming organization, Space Station Gaming, which was where I was actually able to make good money doing this.
Fair enough.
Yeah, MCC. Probably.
I mean, it's interesting to kind of look back on it and think how we are right now. Like with me, like I said, I've been through so many different changes and so many different phases, where it's like although like lots of things have changed, you have always kind of stuck in the same community, right? You've kind of just grown with the community. Yeah, pretty much. Getting myself involved with the Minecraft community is really just Minecraft events, and PvP has always been my thing. Like in 2019, I also did event commentating. That's what I'm doing. I commentated Minecraft Saturdays, which was Pika Clicks and what would become EVNT. That was like one of their earlier events, was Minecraft Saturdays, which is just like a mini game event that had a lot of big people in it. But I wasn't big enough. But Noah, Pika Clicks, is my boy, so he let me run the Twitch channel for them, and I would commentate. And honestly, it was how I got comfortable streaming in front of like a good amount of people, because those admin streams would get like 150, 200 viewers. So that was like my first time streaming or being in front of that many people online at once, doing Minecraft
Saturday commentating.
What are some of your... it's going to be really, really bad if I've got this wrong, but I think I'm right. You did play MCC to your rivals, right?
So I played on stage for MCC.
Yes, yeah, you was on the Orange Ocelots with Smager, Orange Juice, and who's fourth?
Oh my gosh, I am drawing a blank on his name, but I literally know who it is.
Yeah, so do I.
He doesn't play MCC much.
No, but he is a content creator. It's
yeah,
fine.
very bigger than all of us actually on the team, I think.
Hold up, I'm gonna have to check. That's fine. I've got an easy way to check this. Here we go. MCC Championships, Wiki, Control F, Kratzy. Where is Kratzy? There we go. Why are you scrolling me up? We're about to find out. You played in MCC Twitch Rivals Live with It's Masayoshi. Masayoshi.
Yeah,
there we go.
Masayoshi. Yeah, yes.
I had the name. Do you know when you just have the word in your head and you just can't say out loud?
Yeah, that's like half the words I want to say.
What was that like? Is that one of your favorite like event moments? And not just MCC specific, like all of events. Like that's such a big moment. Crazy.
Yeah, that one specifically because like LAN MCC is something that we always joked about, always talked about in forever. And then Scott kept it a secret till pretty close to the event. And then like did signups, and then I was just so happy that I got put on an MCC that time. I was gonna be really sad if they were gonna do MCC LAN in my home city because I live in Vegas. And I didn't get to play in it, but I did. But yeah, that was probably up there. I also did Twitch Rivals on stage the year before San Diego, which was kind of a bigger deal just because that was like my first time doing something like that. But MCC was also super cool.
Wait, what was it in San Diego? Sorry?
San Diego was another Minecraft Twitch Rivals that I did on stage called the MCL.
Oh, I heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, that one was a bigger deal for me because I'd never been on stage or played in any event like that. So that got me comfortable. So when MCC came, I was pretty convinced I was going to win it all. I didn't, but we did pretty good.
If there's one in Europe this year, you're going to go to that?
I will not be doing TwitchCon Europe this year because it is so far, and VidCon is the same week, and VidCon is in LA, which is a couple hours for me.
So you're going to be going to VidCon?
Yeah, most likely. I'm also might be in the process of moving then. Not sure. That's up in the air.
You're going to be going to the American version of TwitchCon then?
Yeah, San Diego, because I can drive there, so I'll probably do that. I like San Diego. I kind of wish they got more creative with the cities, with both TwitchCon EU and NA, because North America's always been like Vegas, LA, San Diego. I'd love to see like New York City or, I don't know, Miami. Same with TwitchCon EU. I wish they did more cities, but I think now they're stuck doing it in the Netherlands pretty much for the next few years, they said.
Yeah, they've made a deal. Same with San Diego, where it's going to be in the same place for quite a while.
Yeah, which I imagine is probably much easier for Twitch. I think changing cities every year is probably harder, but I don't know.
Man, I would have loved TwitchCon in England, London. That'd have been great.
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't done that. I have really no excuse to go to the UK besides like seeing friends, and I really wish there was a big enough convention or event there. But one day I'll go to the UK, surely.
I really thought it was gonna happen, but it just didn't.
Yeah, no, TwitchCon EU in London should happen, but I guess we know now it won't for a long time.
Who knows? We'll see its return later on, maybe.
If Twitch is still around in like 5 years.
Wait, are you not confident?
I mean, Twitch, they were talking about how they still haven't been profitable in like the 10 years Twitch has been around, so yeah. I just don't know how long Amazon will continue to let that happen, but who knows?
We can hope for the best, right?
Yeah, I like Twitch. I mean, they have their problems, but I am not a Twitch hater like some people.
But you said you're not a Twitch hater.
No, I think Twitch is alright. I think they make some not a great decisions sometimes, but I don't think they hate their creators like some platforms feel like they do.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I think sometimes like I do look at like I said, look at sometimes like revenue split, and I think damn, they're a bit greedy. But then they also, if it's true that they're working at a loss, then it kind of makes sense a little bit. Not loads.
Yeah, I think they've made bad business decisions, but I feel like they care. They're just not good at that. Not good at caring. I don't know. I just don't. Some people just like get really mad at Twitch every decision they make, and I think I'm just used to it now. But I've been pretty chill. They let me change my username when I rebranded, so even though it was taken, so shout out.
Oh, that's cool.
And sorry, whoever owned @Kratzy before on Twitch, but it's mine now.
I don't think they would have let you change it unless it was like if it was an active account. So
yeah, and if you're a partner, you get like one special request name change So like that's why you see some partners that have like the most simple name ever, like Dave, which twitch.tv/Dave was taken, unfortunately. But yeah, no, so you can get a specialty name change, but I won't be able to change my name on Twitch again unless it's like totally available.
Okay. Well, at least you use it for a good one though. So.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Kind of on that topic of a rebrand then, while we're talking about it, you touched on it a little bit earlier, but just for the sake of it, what was the motivation behind your rebrand? You mentioned how like, you know, you want to be more clear with it, your surname and stuff. Were there other motives, or was that just the main one?
Yeah, that, and just also like anytime I was at like an event or talking to another creator, they're like, oh, what's your handle? And just like every time I had to spell it out, be like, oh, it's Kratzy, but it's Krtzy. I don't know why. Like just like there wasn't a good word of mouth factor, like even just from like a brand or business perspective. Some names are just really good and like are memorable, where I didn't feel like mine was, because there was like people who would argue about how to even say it. And then it wasn't really even spelled the way it was said. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go Kratzy because it is spelled the way it's said. And even though it might take a while for people to adjust, I think in the long term, it'll be better just for that word of mouth factor of just like, oh, that's Kratzy. Oh, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot easier for branding, literally.
Yeah. And then like the amount of times I got like contracts or something for a sponsorship or whatever, and they would spell my username wrong in like legal documents and stuff too. That was enough of a sign where I was like, okay, I can't deal with this anymore.
Yeah, man. Sometimes people like put Insane Orbits with one Z. I'm just like, dude, come on. I also don't like the insane part of my name. I wish I could just rebrand down to Orbits, but that's taken everywhere. So I'm sitting at Insane Orbits. Plus, Orbits also runs the like brand risk of being sued by like the gum brand or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, I think Insane saves me a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good username though. That's like memorable.
I think InsideMC is good. Flows on the tongue.
Yeah, that one's great too.
I feel like we've covered every topic like really, really quickly here, Dave. I think we've done like a really, really good job.
Thank you. Yeah. Also, actually, on the topic of changing my name, I would have done it way sooner, but up until the end of last year, I was on Space Station. I was like a creator for Space Station Gaming.
Okay.
And just like it was just all legally bounding stuff of like my name being what it was before, and it was just going to complicate things if I tried to rebrand in the middle of all that. So I was let go. My contract expired at the end of 2023. So once I left Space Station, I changed my name. That was kind of also one of the big motivators. It was like I was with them for 3 years, so it was kind of a it was like my moment of like, okay, I'm leaving this brand, and so now I'm gonna just totally do a little bit of an identity change, a new start. But I also couldn't change my name prior to that.
I know Misfits also let a few creators go. How was that kind of being like not being renewed for a contract? Was that expected? Was it a bit of a surprise? Like how did you feel after it?
It was expected in a way that I always prepare for the worst, but it was really that I was their only Minecraft creator. It was a little complicated in an esport organization. I can say, and this is all my own words, not that anyone told me this, but it's like Space Station was great. They were a very grassroots organization. They're self-funded. Like they don't have like big investors that can have a lot of control over them. So Space Station was great to be with. Companies like Misfits, allegedly, as I've heard through the wind, are a little different. They're a little more rigid business, and I believe there's not ever naming any names, but I believe there's some creators that were just straight up cut from their roster. I was not cut from Space Station. They just did not renew my contract for a 4th year.
And they let you know that and let you plan for it, kind of thing.
Yeah, they let me know. Well, I wish. I love them. We left on good terms. Nice. I wish they let me know like a few months before rather than 1 month before. But I also get business is business, and they probably didn't even know they had to cut me. I mean, money is much more tighter at Space Station because they don't have crazy like billionaires funding the org or any big like venture capital funding. So no, it was great. I mean, they were my home for 3 years. I mean, they paid me a salary. So I mean, that allowed me to kind of flesh myself out as a content creator without worrying about finances too much, which was a blessing. So I can't be mad.
Fair enough.
And now I'm in a position where I make full-time income after leaving them. Whereas when I joined them, I was kind of in a tight spot. So
is that from TikTok? Do you make full-time content, full-time income?
Yeah, pretty much. I could do nothing else and just do TikTok.
That's mental.
Which sucks that now I'm like, hey, should I be planning in the long term with TikTok, or should I expect it to be banned? But whatever. I'll worry about that in 6 months.
Because I work full-time job. I mentioned to you before the podcast at my barista. I literally finished work today at 5:30, got home at like 6, had my dinner, and then instantly jumped on a call with you. And then after I got to go do like 2 more things, like online stuff. And then also during this podcast, I've checked my phone. It's on airplane mode, but I checked the notification. I got a message from my manager, and I've told her so many times to stop doing this. She said, "Oh, I need to talk to you about something tomorrow." It's like I've told her to stop doing that because it just drives my mental like nuts. And like, because the thing is, I know it's not bad because I haven't done anything wrong, and I know there's nothing serious. But telling me, "Oh, by the way, I need to talk to you," is like,
that's the worst.
But why did you have to tell me that? Why can't you just talk to me tomorrow? It makes no difference now other than make me overthink it. Because although I know I'm fine, my brain wants to do the overthink thingy. And it's like, oh.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, they're gonna fire me. That's what they're gonna do.
Well, they can't fire me, but yeah, it's just, I just hate it so much. Yeah, point is, I work a full-time job alongside content. I'd love to do content full-time. Maybe I will, but it's a
rocky road.
Well, it's not stable. Because, like where I work is stable.
Yeah, no, nice. Definitely not. I mean, I've had plenty of times where I'm like losing my mind because it's like I have a really bad month or 2 months or whatever. So there's a lot of stress and anxiety with it. And I'm also very lucky that I live on my own apartment, so I pay rent, but I do live with my girlfriend of 5 years, and we've lived together this whole time. So it's like half the expenses if I was single. So because we split everything, so that is a big factor too.
Good way to be, split all the income.
Yeah, and my girlfriend's a video editor full time, so she understands my career. She works for X Nestorio, if you're familiar.
I know who X Nestorio is. Just
she's been his full-time editor for like 4 years now.
That's cool. I actually watched. I mean, I don't really watch
pretty much
too much
every videos he's made in the past 4 years. Actually, I don't know how she does it.
I used to watch X Nestorio. I don't anymore, but I did. I mean, I do watch him every now and then, but I watched him more in the past.
Yeah, he makes a lot of I love him. He makes a lot of like meta. He's a content like very whatever's popping in Minecraft. He's on it. Very cool YouTuber. One of the few big Minecraft YouTubers I've gotten to know, and he's like sat down in calls and gave me advice on stuff. A really cool YouTuber. Just to vouch for him publicly for some reason. Shout out X Nestorio.
With that being said, then I feel like we've covered everything. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? Do you think? I mean, this is a much shorter podcast than usual, but like I said, we have kind of just hashed through it quite nicely here. Is there anything specific that I didn't bring up that you wanted to talk about? Or have I covered every basis quite well?
Yeah, I feel like you covered it pretty well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
If it's a thing that hard, that means I did a good job.
Yeah, no, I mean, those are good questions. No, I mean, there's nothing that I've been wanting to talk about or anything. I can't think of anything.
So I have a few Twitter questions here. This one I don't really understand, but you might understand it, so I'm gonna ask it. It's from Kicksan. Which MCC did you take a shot before? Maybe there's some kind of law that I'm missing, or do you?
Yeah, so that's funny because I was talking about this on stream the other day. I used to take like a shot of vodka or some sort of alcohol before MCC because I'd get a lot of nerves like early on in MCC. Like I'd get scared or just anxious to play, and because I told people that was my secret trick to doing good is drinking. Which don't take my advice, anyone listening. Don't drink, it's bad. But yeah, to answer that question, that's pretty much every single one except like most of season 3. I stopped because I just don't drink really anymore. But yeah, and actually, I will clarify. Every MCC where I was over the age of 21, of course, because that's the age where you have to legally drink here. I would never do that before 21, of course.
I'm a big alcohol fan. I'm British, so we get to start drinking at 18. Big alcohol fan, me. Obviously not promoting it, but I do. I drink Guinness. I'm a Guinness drinker. I also, over Christmas, I bought some moonshine. Legal moonshine. It was from an event, so they were clearly legal to sell it. Some O'Donoghue moonshine. Very, very nice. Very, very good, I must say.
I had Guinness on St. Patrick's Day because I am of a very Irish family, but...
Oh, my dad's full Irish.
Yeah, I mean, it's like my great-great-grandparents were...
Come on.
During the famine left Ireland. But the thing is, it's like by coincidence, for some reason, I took a DNA test really hoping that I was going to find some like unknown ethnicity in me or like one I wasn't aware of. But no, I was like just purely, it was like pretty much 100% Irish or like English a little bit. So no, but no, I don't know. The only reason it's, I think, really in my family is just because we lived in the same area until I moved. I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, and so like multiple generations lived there. So we were very Irish, and Boston is very Irish. But I recently learned there's more Irish people in America than Ireland, but weird.
America also is just much bigger than Ireland, so.
Yeah, and the UK drove a lot of Irish people out of their country, but that was like 200 years ago. Fine.
I am curious to know how Guinness tastes in America though, because it doesn't travel well at all. So like Guinness in Ireland is so much better than it is in England because it just.
Yeah, I would imagine, I guess. Huh.
So I'd be interested to see how it tastes in America. If you ever come to England or Europe or whatever, try Guinness. Trust me, it tastes so much different.
Gotcha. We'll get a pint, as they say.
Yeah, pint of Guinness, mate.
I know. It was in the Netherlands. I drank. Oh, I was gonna say in the Netherlands, I had Heineken, and Heineken was good there, and it's not as good in America, so I would never have it here. But it was really good when I was in the...
rough for me, I don't know.
I don't know. Most beer's a little bit weird for me, so not a big beer guy.
I used to drink I used to drink like cider up until like one night I went out drinking with my dad and we just had too many rounds of cider. It's just juice, and oh my goodness gracious, I can't even think about drinking it again. So I went out the other night with my dad and we was drinking Guinness, and then he was like, you know what, let's switch drinks, because I was out drinking him and I was very proud of myself, like, yes, I'm out drinking my dad, look at that. He was just drinking less, and we had Jack Daniels and Coke, which is nice. Oh god. The mix, not fun. Not fun at all.
Yeah, mix.
And then I guess the next one here, which is probably going to be the last question, because a few of them, most of the questions we've already answered. How come you decided you wanted to play in every single MC event there was? I know you're an event player, but I wanted to ask it anyways.
It's probably because recently I've been in a bunch. I did I can't remember. I did Minecraft Mania. I did One Shot. I think there was another event I did, but I just I don't know. It felt like the event scene was really expanding. There's always stuff like Block Wars and then like a few other like events here and there, but it was like in the past year the event scene really like has been growing to be like an actual community around events and event players, and a lot of them were either used to be fans of MCC or still are, and so I just decided that I would love to see what the community's been doing, and I've had a lot of fun and met a lot of really cool people. So yeah, I mean that's all the reason I did it. I think the reason they're asking is because in the past I used to not do any other events outside of MCC really, or like Twitch Rivals. But yeah, so I've had a change of heart as I've seen that whole scene is fleshed out a bit more.
But that's just realizing, right? That's growing and realizing that there's more to it than meets the eye, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
With that being said, then Dave, that sadly brings the end of the Inside MC podcast here. A much shorter edition, but also quite grateful because I want to get this done before I go to Birmingham, and I'm going to Birmingham on Friday for the week. It'd be nice to have this, which doesn't really make much sense to the viewer because that would have been last week. Point is, this is going to be nice and done hopefully before I go, and then next week I can chillax, relax, and know that the Dave Kratzy podcast is finished editing. However,
heck yeah,
I always like to give the outro here for you to promote yourself. People who've listened to the podcast all the way through. Where can we find you? Your links, your obviously with your rebrand, it's a lot easier for you to do now. Look at that. So yeah, where can we find you?
You can find me. I mean, mostly nowadays it'll be TikTok. It's Kratzy. Actually, my old spelling, but Krtzy. You can actually just find all my links if you go to Kratzy.net. I bought that domain. I'm gonna be happy with it. So all my links are on there. There's like a little link tree, Kratzy.net. But TikTok is where you're gonna catch me covering all of the Minecraft snapshots that are coming out, which they're actually doing a pretty good job with this next update. Pretty cool. But yeah, thank you so much for having me on this podcast. I love yapping. It was great to yap with you. Very cool. So yeah,
thank you for coming on. I mean, the name will be in the title. Go literally just search up Krtzy on TikTok and it'll show up, which is perfect. And that's where their main content is. So go support them. Go do all of that. And it was great having you as a guest. It was so cool talking to you. And you're one of the first names that kind of I knew when I joined this community, which I'm still just over a year now I've been here. I keep saying this like all the time, but it's true. And you're one of the names that first I got introduced to or like found out about. So yeah, thank you for coming on today. It's really cool to be able to speak to you. So.
Yeah, of course, I had a good time. We'll surely stay in touch.
Oh, I mean, DM's always open for you, Dave. Always. I'll jump at DMs. With that being said, then that sadly brings the end of this week's Inside MC. Hope you all enjoyed listening. Stay safe. Don't eat too much bread. Peace.